I'm gonna do it again. Alright, hey guys, welcome to a Trials Fusion tutorial made by me. Today we are going to make a ball roll game, right? Using your left stick to control the ball and your right stick to move the camera. I already set one up to make it easier. If you want to learn how to make a first-person game, you can watch my other tutorial, links below on the video. Watch the first-person tutorial, which will then be used for the third-person tutorial. So for people that know how to make a first-person game, this should be easy. All you need to make a first-person game is to make a camera. People usually use the blue camera, and then they make their corresponding sticks. I used north, south, east, and west with my directional force values, and I just use activate diagonal, and I use this both state events on and off with down and release for my ball and my object instances. But for here, I use the first person game. So with the first person game, make sure your camera controls are set up like this. Okay, if you want to see how this is set up, watch my first person tutorial, as I will show you every exact way how to set the camera motions. So this is the camera motions, and this is the center points, which act as object info data sources, and this is the height. Positive and lower means that it's above or lower between the ball. Now once you get that in place, all you need, literally all you need, is a custom camera with a joint. You see this? This is a custom camera connected to a joint. So make sure you have a dummy object. Glue your dummy object. Actually, you don't even need a dummy object, but I used it anyway. Make sure you have a glue tool, and make sure you glue your glue tool to the camera. If you cannot glue the glue tool to the camera, make sure you glue the dummy object to the glue tool, and then glue it to the camera. Then it'll be in the center. Then all you have to do is grab the joint of the center and move it over here. Then you'll have a 360-degree orbital rotational camera. So meaning the camera is glued to the joint. You are not moving the camera. You are moving the joint. That's all you're moving. The camera is just attached to the joint. And obviously the reason why the camera is it's literally attached. So it's like an invisible line, kind of like in the movies, except it's more invisible because you can go right through this line. It's holding it in place, right? And that's the camera. Make sure your camera setting is not on use as game camera. If you use as game camera, then your camera will go all over the place and it'll look really bad. All right? So make sure your OPE that's selecting all the events, which is corresponding with the ball. So meaning that you have to have your 4 directional inputs, anything else that you want, like a gun or whatever, alright? And make sure you have your glued jointed camera, because when you have that in place, remember when I click the play button, this is how you test physics and animations, how they work. You see that? It transfers right to the ball. Now when the game starts, which is stupid, make sure you have this as your game character, or this is your game character. Make sure that this is not your game character. Okay? If you don't want no game character to spawn in with no camera, make sure your camera is facing a black wall or something, or turn down the exposure with a linear setting for more professional standpoint of view, and then after a certain amount of impulses or right away, it transfers to the game character as soon as the game starts. But make sure you do not turn on the game character that's connected to the orbital view, or it will screw up your game camera. And that's how you make a left stick movement and a right stick movement with the camera. Remember, this tutorial is how to make a right stick movement with your game character. If it's either first person or third person, it's actually, it's for third person. If you want to make it first person and third person, you could also make that with a button switch. We'll cover later on in the video how to make button commands, how to make them work so you can't spam the buttons. how they make in real video games. That's how real video games do it. So I hope this tutorial worked, and just to give you more of a insight. Also, if you want the game to end at a certain amount of time, you could use this event. So we're gonna say game will end in 1 minute. Alright? And then you can program a clock in the distance or use score values to program a clock at the top with the score values, okay? Now, for people that want to make a finish line event, make sure you have this, right, on hit to the finish line event. Make sure it's triggered by the ball. See? Now it knows how to finish. If you want to make a respawn point, make sure you have this connected to this, right? And then make sure your giant event down here, object instances, select the ball, and made a blue dotted line, you see there. Now if you fall off the map, you'll respawn at that exact point. And if you finish, you finish. And if you finish and you don't want the ball to roll, you could make a physics on-off event to stop your physics, and you can make a hidden, visible event to make your ball unhidden. Or even freeze your ball, meaning that it completely freezes, which is pretty much what the physics does. So it doesn't trigger the down below event. So that's how you make a ball game with the right stick. That's how you make a third-person game. So we'll just go through it and test it. Game starts. I'm moving with my right stick and my left stick, you see, while I'm moving the ball. Up, down, left, right, north, south, left, right. Moving the ball. Obviously the ball is going very slow. You can customize its speed and stuff as you move the ball. You could finish line at this event, but we're going to wait on it. We're going to wait. We're going to wait. We're going to wait 1 minute. It's going to finish by itself because it's on a timer, remember? We set the timer. The timer was set to a interval, to a delayed impulse. Delayed impulse goes to a finish line event. Now after the minute goes by, the game will automatically end. There it is, there it is. That was a minute, guys, and that was a little long. Alright? Now we will restart, and now we will fall off the map to see if our respawn point worked. Fall off the map. There it goes, it restarted the event. It restarted the event. Now we spawn back here again. Alright? Now we're going to see if our finish line works. Ta-da! It's done. Now that's how you make a orbital rotational game. Hopefully that tutorial, guys, worked. It was a simple, short tutorial on how to create a right stick camera movement with your ball. So remember those settings if you want to maximize your performance. Now you can make cutscene CG and then go back to the ball. Custom CG, go back to the ball. Now it makes it a lot easier with camera transfers. If you want to learn how to make camera transfers and all these other settings, you can watch my previous tutorials on my Trials How-To Tutorial playlist. And this is Saint the Legend, and I hope this tutorial helped you make a third-person game with a rotational camera controlled by your right and left stick horizontal value. Alright, if you want to see how my first-person game and camera controls are set up for the first person, you go watch my first-person tutorial, and make sure when you make a horizontal value, make sure you take off the other OPE that was up here. Just remove that. And you only want the yaw value. The yaw value corresponds with the horizontal. The vertical is for the first person. That's if you want the vertical view, which I don't know if the vertical will work with an up and down, camera rotation. maybe it does work. But you guys should play around with it to see if it really, really does work. Alright? So, just to see if it works, we're actually going to see if it does work. We're going to pitch right there. We are going to unselect every single object that's being selected right now, which is this. I just selected the bottom, which is bad. Alright. This one, and this one. Now you guys could also have gravity, you know, like gravity where it pushes you down, right? You guys could also have gravity as well, which also acts as an impulse as well. So if you guys want custom gravity, you can have a directional force pointing down with amount of gravity. Then you can have, and then you can adjust the bounce of the character. So now we're only going to select this thing, okay? Alright? We're only going to select that. The reason why we're only going to select that, because remember, this shares the positioning value which corresponds, remember, the left ball has nothing to do with that. So you're only moving the ball, and anything linked to that ball moves with the ball as a center point. So that will be centering that, remember that. Now, this will be for the controls. So the controls of that will be that, the horizontal view. Alright? So this is horizontal movement for that. And the other one is vertical view, which would be that to that. So we can move it up and down the camera. See what it does. See what type of up and down movement we're seeing. You know what I mean? And basically what we need is we need to share an impulse between the two, like that. Make sure we don't modify rotation, make sure it's local. Make sure these settings are correct. You see modify rotation. And make sure all these are correct. Make sure you have these settings correct or your track will not work. Now we'll be at pitch. Now we will select the camera. We will then put this closer to the thing so it doesn't do a jerk as soon as we start our game. Now it's in position point. Now let's see if it works. This is an added feature. You guys don't have to watch this added feature. Alright. Camera moves up and down. Let's see if it... Oh my goodness. You see this? What happened here, guys? Our camera's now moving like this. Woo! This is really, really, really hard. You know what I mean? Now if you want to make yourselves vomit, you could do that. So yeah, we got it to the opposite direction. Alright. Alright. Let's make this a... let's make this a bank. Heck, it has to be bank, right? It's nothing else. It's not yaw. Alright, so yaw is the other one. So let's test this again. Now we have it. So now you have a perfect ball game, and now it goes to the floor. Alright, so now you have a perfect ball game. You see that? Where you can move around the sticks, move it around, and now you can position it up and down, up and down. Now the thing it is, if you go up, it goes down, and up goes down. So now it's inverted. Alright? Now this is basically how you make it. Alright? That's how you make a ball game. Now to adjust the invertality of the systems. Interpolation speed. This could probably be as a value adjuster. I'm not sure. We're gonna adjust the speed to 20 to see what that does. Just gotta play around with these settings. You know what I mean? Alright, so the camera moves the same way. look, it is sensitive. You see, it's moving faster. So that's how you adjust your sensitivity, your interpolation speed. So more sensitivity to your ball. So just to make that more, see how left and right went slow? We're gonna go to this value right here. We're gonna adjust the sensitivity to 20. Or the 30, let's say 30. We go back to our ball, and now it's faster, you see? Well, it's a little bit faster. And it's even faster here. So this is your sensitivity adjuster. See, no, it is faster. Like stuff are more blurry. Before it used to move like that. You see, now it moves even faster. So that's how you adjust your sensitivity controls, which then you can adjust sensitivity. Now to find how to make it not inverted. Which is probably a setting down here. I hope this is not the inverted type. Which doesn't make any sense, you know what I mean? Now restarting checkpoint is good, but if you don't want anything to restart in the checkpoint, make sure all these options are checked off. So if you restart, nothing resets. Alright, just to keep that in mind. Obviously I'm not going to go through how to make it inverted. But it helps for the video, I guess. Alright, that's how you make an inverted camera. You see that? Up. No, up. Down is down and up is up. You see that? Down. Oh, fuck, I'm getting confused now. Because now I'm thinking it's inverted. Alright, so now this is our camera. We move it. Now it's down is down and up is up. Down and down and down is up, and then left and right. If you want to invert those changes, you have to use the divide. Because it makes sense, divide. Negative is the correct axes, then the position. So if I wanted to make inverted, then I would say positive 0.200, and then I would do negative 0.200 if I wanted to invert it. And if I wanted to make it an invert controller setting, right, for inverted, then I would have a setting. I would pick values. I'll put something at the top here and make a series of calculations. So then you can do inverted and not inverted, inverted and not inverted, to help the people that have their lefts and rights the opposite, which I think that's how it is. Or they were just used to old school, horrible left and right movements are terrible. Now they're used to it. Now they can't go back. You know what I mean? I feel sorry for those people. Now that's how you make a correct ball game. Alright? It's a 20-minute tutorial how to make a ball game, and you still have to watch the other 20-minute tutorial how to set up the game and then modify it to a third person, which is pretty much the same thing. The only difference is the camera's up here now. Alright? Link to this. So this is how you make a perfect ball rolling game experience with the camera vertically going up and down, left and right, and move it all around. Okay? So I hope this tutorial helped. Now you know how to make a respawn point, a finish line. Now you know how to make invert settings, sensitivity settings, vertical up and down, horizontal right stick camera movements, and your ball controller settings. You have the maxed out knowledge. Now go make maps. Go make Marble Blast Ultra on Fusion now. Now you can make it now. With this knowledge that I have provided for you. I've took the time that I wanted to learn it. I tried finding it, I tried asking, nobody wanted to help me, so you know what? I figured it out myself, and now I'm sharing this knowledge with you guys. Now you guys know how to do it as well. I hope this tutorial helped. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If this video helped, make sure to give it a like, obviously, as I just said. And I'm saying the legend, and I hope this tutorial was very useful to you guys, because now you guys know how to make a third-person game with Orbital, and now you know even how to make invert settings. So, thank you all for watching, and see you on my next Trials tutorial. And, yeah, just slow down the video and pause the video if you're having difficulties, and if I went too fast, I'm sorry. This is even hard for me because I just learned it. So, yeah. Alright, see you.